Okay, today I'm just going to cook a simple meal of steak and tater tots. I was going to make it steak and fries, but I don't have any frozen fries. I've got frozen tater tots. So let's just get into it. I'm doing the tater tots in the oven. I just can't be bothered with the deep fryer. The oven will work fine. It's mainly the steak that I'm concerned with anyway, because I want it to be rare to medium rare. So, I don't know, those are awfully long tater tots, but I don't know, I've had a few, they're pretty good. It's just, I've already turned the oven on. Okay. That should be plenty. So I'll put those in the oven. Okay, the name of the game here is not to overcook the steak. Now, I think I've got a pretty decent steak. I'm using the same steak that I used for that KFC thing, and it was pretty nice and tender. So, but it's also awfully thick. Well, I don't know. This should be all right. All right, I'm going to spray that as well with the olive oil. Okay. And also the name of the game is low heat. Give it some time. Be patient. I want this to be a really good steak. And while it's cooking, I got a surprise for you. All right, let's turn on the heat. Oh, damn it. This often doesn't work. Where's the stove? There we go. The clicker doesn't work when the oven's on. So, okay. Okay, so let's heat up the pan. Maybe some spoilers for that surprise if you saw what fell over. Okay, pan's heating up. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Okay. Now I'm going to season the meat with. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to season the meat. Can't see that. I'm going to season the meat with the mixed pepper. Whoops. That was dumb. Whoops. That's the side I've already greased. I haven't greased this side because I greased the pan. So, season this before we put it in the pan. And now we'll put it in the pan. Okay. Okay, while that's cooking, low heat. Yeah, it's pretty low heat. All right, so while that's cooking, I'm going to clean up and then I'll show you the surprise. Okay, now here's the surprise. I like to eat where should I put this? I like to eat the steak with some brown sauce or American A1 sauce, which is sort of a black sauce. I've never seen it anywhere outside of the United States. I've seen A1, but that's sort of a brown sauce also. The ultimate brown sauce is HNP, something like that. Can't get that here. Or at least I haven't been able to find it. So, I have made a reasonable facsimile. Now, it's not going to fool anyone, but it is pretty tasty. And what you do is you basically mix soy sauce, not Worcester sauce. If you use Worcester sauce, it's going to come out nasty. Mix soy sauce, and this is going to sound nasty too, tomato ketchup. But if you mix them roughly 50-50, and then just taste it as you go, you can get a pretty good facsimile of a brown sauce. Now, if you use too much soy sauce, it's going to be a little watery and kind of salty. You may like it that way. Once it's mixed really well, give it a taste. If it's too salty for you or not thick enough, then stick in a little more ketchup. If it's too thick and too sweet, add a little more soy sauce. And that's all there is to it. Yeah, that's too soy. This one I've actually done before. And it not only looks like brown sauce, it doesn't taste like brown sauce, but it's a fair facsimile. It's a fair substitute. Make sure it's mixed really well. Yeah, still a little bit salty. Gonna have to turn that steak in a minute too. You really don't want that steak overdone. You have to check on the tater tots too. This dinner doesn't really take that much time. I don't need to show you how to cook a steak. I'm not very good at it anyway. I'm probably going to fuck it up. But what I mainly wanted to show you was making this sauce. This is a fair steak sauce. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's a fair steak sauce. And you can get soy sauce and tomato ketchup, whatever you want to call it, pretty much anywhere. Okay, let's turn the steak. Okay, now while that's cooking, I've added more oil. I fucked up again, I didn't show you. Let me take this off and show you. See, it is still nice and pink. And I've added more oil to the pan. And we're doing that. Okay. Tater tots look alright. Need to turn them over. No, they're not sticking to anything. That's nice. I haven't even oiled this pan. Yeah, a tiny bit. They can go for a little bit longer. Yeah, the thing about the steak is super low heat. You don't need a lot of seasoning because you're using a sauce. I use steak sauce. If you don't want to use steak sauce, it's up to you how you want to season your steak. Because I'm all about the sauce. If you're not all about the sauce, I don't know why you're watching my channel. But, okay, so we're going to put those back in and then have a look at the steak. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. It looks pretty well cooked on the outside. Maybe it is too thick. But I do like a red center, so let's cut a piece off of this. see what it looks like. Let's cut all the way through. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna put it on the pan just a little bit more on the same side. See, it's leaving blood behind. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna put that back on the fire just for a little bit longer. And let's taste this. Yeah, it's a different cup, I know. Don't worry about it. It's the same sauce I just made. I wanted the smaller cup for some ketchup. So I just transferred the sauce into this cup. Just full disclosure, I'd already made a bit in this cup just to remember whether it's soy sauce or Worcester sauce. That's how I know not to use Worcester sauce because that was my first choice. All right, let's see. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's pretty nice. All right. Okay. I've got the heat turned down to bare minimum to keep the steak um, warm. So I want the tots to go a little bit longer. Okay. Fire off. Steak on the plate. And yeah, I know it looks overcooked, but it is not. I haven't cut it into it since we put it back on the plate or back on the pan. So let's have a look. Yeah, it looks nice. Like, it's almost rare. Mm. A little bit too overdone to be rare. A little bit too underdone to be medium rare. All right. Let's do the tots. Let's get the tots out of here. Oh, by the way, I think that this steak is more than I can eat, especially in addition to the tots. That's okay though, because I'll cut up the steak and turn it into a burrito. I mean, the leftovers. So let's get the tots on here. Wow, it didn't look like that many on the pan, but now it looks like a bit too much on the plate. I don't know. They'll keep also. Let's leave it at that. That's a little more than half of them. Now, got the steak sauce. Now we need some ketchup for the tots. Okay. And that's that. Okay, so a nicely cooked steak without sauce. Let's see what it tastes like just by itself with just the pepper. Mm. Should have done a little more butchering. There's a bit of connective tissue, but the meat itself melts in my mouth. Perfect. And with the steak sauce, now that it's done and in its plate, so I'm all about the sauce. So Yeah, nice and pink. Mmm, that's my dinner tonight. Them tater tots with tomato sauce. Um, they're just tater tots ish, but they're potatoes, so you know. Mm. It doesn't matter. The main feature is steak, and it came out just almost perfect. I mean, I say almost because I'm no Michelin chef or anything, but yeah, it's pretty nice. So, mm, like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure this was a pretty short one, but whatever. Um, and I'll see you next week. Just to let you know, making these videos is kind of fun, but it's also kind of interfering with other things. I don't want to disappoint the few of you that like to watch these videos, but at the same time, there's a lot of music stuff I want to do. So I don't know. I'm not putting it into it right this minute, but I'm just giving you a warning. I'm definitely coming back next week. I even know what I want to make. So for now, like and subscribe. And, send me a message if you really want me to keep doing these. Because I really don't have that many subscribers. And so it's hard to imagine I'm disappointing that many people. Because I'm not a chef or anything anyway. It's just kind of fun. So, but I mean, if it would, ruin your life or something, yeah, let me know if you really care that much. Just, uh, just giving you a heads up. Okay. Anyway, that's about it. I need to sit down and have dinner. See if I can. Still fighting with that AI to get paid. So Anyway, like, subscribe, ping bell, and I'll be back next week. Ta.